Okay, so when you think science lab, what's the first thing that pops into your head? I'm guessing it's, bubbling beakers, maybe some white lab coats, all that classic stuff, right? And yeah, that's definitely part of the story. But modern scientific discovery? It's actually happening in two totally different, yet deeply interconnected worlds. So let's dive in and explore this fascinating divide.
So, what does a modern science lab really look like today? Is it that classic scene filled with chemicals and samples, or is it a room that's just humming with the sound of powerful computer servers? Well, the answer, as we're about to see, is increasingly both.
At its core, the whole split really boils down to this one question. Are you working with matter or are you working with data? See, on one side, you've got the physical, tangible world of chemicals and biological samples. On the other, you have the purely digital realm of algorithms and complex simulations. These are the two fundamental pillars of modern research.
And these two environments, they have names you probably heard, the wet lab and the dry lab. But here's the key thing to understand. This isn't just about different rooms or different equipment. No, this represents a complete shift in the scientific method itself. We're moving from pure, simple observation to this powerful new cycle of prediction and validation.
All right, so let's start with the one we all know, the wet lab. This is the classic, the historical foundation of all experimental science. It's the place where theories really meet physical reality. So what exactly is a wet lab? Well, it's a research space built for hands-on experiments. We're talking liquids, chemicals, biological matter, stuff you can actually touch. The crucial point here is that this is where scientists generate what's called ground truth data. That's the direct, real-world evidence that proves a hypothesis is actually correct. And you can tell exactly what it's for just by looking at the infrastructure. You have these massive fume hoods for hazardous gases, specialized drainage systems, chemical-resistant benches. Every single component is designed with one purpose in mind: to safely handle physical and often dangerous materials in a super-controlled environment. And all that specialized infrastructure? It comes at a pretty significant cost. As you can see, setting up and maintaining a wet lab can easily cost double what a dry lab costs. And that's purely because of all the advanced plumbing, ventilation, and safety systems that are absolutely non-negotiable. But here's the thing. Despite those high costs, the need for wet labs is actually growing. Driven by huge booms in biotech and pharmaceutical research, the demand for this kind of hands-on experimental space surged by 34% in just 2 years. The physical work remains absolutely essential. However, the wet lab does have its challenges. The work is meticulous, it's very labor-intensive. And if an experiment fails, maybe because a sample got contaminated or there was a subtle error somewhere, it's not a quick fix. You can't just hit undo. Sourcing new materials and starting the whole process over can set a project back by weeks or even months. And this is exactly where our second world comes into play. The computational dry lab has emerged as a truly transformative force, bringing with it the power of what's called in silico science. So a dry lab is the complete opposite of a wet lab in its approach. Instead of physical samples, its currency is data. Researchers here use computer simulations and mathematical models to analyze, predict, and conduct what are essentially virtual experiments. And the term for this kind of work is in silico, which perfectly captures what a dry lab is all about. It's a clever nod to the silicon chips inside our computer processors, the modern-day equivalent of an in vitro experiment happening in a petri dish. Now, the experiment happens inside a computer. The infrastructure here tells a totally different story. There are no fume hoods or sinks. Instead, it is all about high-performance computers, massive data storage, and highly specialized software. The focus shifts completely from handling physical materials to processing digital information. And the advantages here directly address the wet lab's biggest challenges. Computational work is incredibly fast, and it can scale to analyze millions of data points, something that's just impossible on a lab bench. And what if a simulation fails? Well, you aren't set back by months. You just rewrite the code, rerun it, and you're back on track in a matter of days, or sometimes even hours. So, does this mean the dry lab is replacing the wet lab? Not at all. In fact, the most exciting breakthroughs today are happening where these two worlds meet, creating this powerful partnership between prediction and validation. And this is the crucial point. The dry lab isn't a replacement for traditional research. Think of it as an accelerator. They work together in this incredible, synergistic feedback loop, which makes the entire process of discovery faster, cheaper, and way more focused.
So here's how that loop works in the real world. First, the dry lab predicts. A computer model can screen, say, millions of potential drug compounds to find the 10 most promising ones. Then, the wet lab validates. So instead of testing millions of compounds by hand, scientists only need to physically test those top 10 predictions. And finally, the wet lab results are fed back into the computer, which refines the model and makes its next predictions even more accurate.
The core contrast is crystal clear. The wet lab works with physical matter to create tangible products, while the dry lab uses data to generate predictive insights. This leads to that huge difference in failure recovery time, and it also highlights a key ethical benefit. Dry lab simulations can significantly reduce the need for things like animal testing.
This powerful synergy is now being reflected in the architecture itself. The new gold standard is becoming the hybrid lab, a single, integrated space where the computational work and the hands-on experimentation happen side by side, maximizing collaboration and efficiency.
So, what does this powerful integration mean for the future? Well, it's unlocking new frontiers in science and medicine that were honestly pretty unimaginable just a short time ago.
We're seeing the rise of AI-driven drug discovery, which is dramatically accelerating the search for new medicines. We're developing digital twins. These are virtual models of individual patients so we can test treatments and predict outcomes for truly personalized medicine. And all of this allows us to respond to new health crises with unprecedented speed.
And this shift isn't just happening in research labs. It is changing the real world. Regulatory bodies like the FDA are now beginning to accept in silico data as part of the formal drug approval process because they recognize the power and reliability of these computational models.
Ultimately, the line between the wet lab and the dry lab is just getting blurrier and blurrier. As the power to compute and the power to experiment become one, the very nature of discovery itself is changing. So it leaves us with one big question. What will the next great scientific breakthrough even look like?